Lokaguru Madhya Manasa Saukyupadesham Kuru. Respected friends, welcome you all. Greetings, gratitudes, salutations, wishes. Listening something from someone itself is so burden and painful. And that something when it is spiritual, it becomes more heavy, boring. In that, coming to listen to the kathas, the stories, sometimes it may be entertaining because it gives some prasadam, some Sriyavar Ramachandra ki jai, that will be there in between. But listening to the tattva, Vedanta tattva, so tough. That too, the texts of highest order and not less than Sakshat Sri Vasishtha Kruta Datta Sri Yoga Vasishtha Maha Ramayanam, where the Shishya and Shrota is none other than Sakshat Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. How tough it is, and that too continuously, consistently. If not for Purvajanma Sukruti, if not for Guru's grace, one's own lot of Vancha Icha to study the Shastra, this opportunity as well as this readiness won't come. Whoever are thus here for this class every day, they are really dhanya. I can only say you are so lucky, so blessed. Thank your heart. Thank your own upadhis. Thank the Maya for not disturbing so much. Thank the world for not distracting so much. Thank all the gurus, devatas who are blessing. And celebrate. How? By being very seriously, sincerely, regularly trying to grasp the subject matter that is discussed. Same time, in the mind, have that thought that we are chosen for this, selected for this spiritual understanding, study, sadhana journey, which is any day higher, greater, nobler than any other pursuits in the whole world. There is no greater pursuit than reality, because every pursuit other than reality, obviously, it inherently has, it is unreal only. How can unreal pursuit can give real happiness? Pursuit of unreality. So feeling that somehow इतना जगत को आप देखते हो ना, outside you see people how much they are struggling, suffering. That little we may understand, but little if we have the subtle capacity of the mind, go into the minds of people and see how much they are tormented there, troubled there by their own minds, by their own intellects. लोग तो आत्महत्या करते हैं, लोग दूसरों के हत्या करते, लोग क्या करे पता नहीं होता, ड्रिंक्स एंड ड्रग्स एडिक्ट होते हैं, दे डू द क्राइम्स एंड ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ व्हाट, द अंतःकरण. नो, imagine all of those hearts or minds and thoughts. Compared to that, we are well placed, better placed. है ना? Some discipline, some decency, some devotion, some dedication, some dispassion, some determination. We have thoda to encash it. Don't go back to that negative world. Anything which takes us into that world, just avoid it. Anything which gives us more and more feeding of spirituality, come to this only. Even though it is tough, but it's only the toughness is in imagination. Know that it is all for our own good, better, best evolution, with keeping that goal in mind. Even though sometimes it is tough and difficult, keep on walking. Don't give it up. A suggestion. Welcome. We are into the 54th Sarga of Shri Yoga Vaashishtha Maharamayana Tritiya Utpatthi Prakarana Leelopakhyanam. In this 54th Sarga, again like 53rd, so many beautiful truths subtle are revealed. About the Srushti, be attentive. About the Niyati, and 5 6 things are told here. Very subtle, unless you are very conscious, you can't catch them. But then, once caught and once remembered that knowledge, and from that knowledge standpoint, when we are able to assess, analyze, understand everything that is happening around, we never suffer in life. That's the dena of jnana. That's a contribution of the knowledge that it makes us understand the position of everything in its right perspective so that we don't suffer. That is discussed. Later on, the three types of jiva are told according to their own karma. This is how they get these marana uparanta. In what way they go through all the anubhutis that is told. In that, someone who is a very moodha and murkha and never followed the scriptural injunctions, lived a life full of licentiousness. How much he will be going through the hell like of suffering, all of that are described. Only to hint to us that this is the niyati. Niyati is the word. Catch it. Yesterday also we saw in this entire sarga, in the earlier sarga also, this was pointed out. The niyati is, it is set in motion like that. Nobody can change it, edit it. In that niyati only, the kukarma, dushkarma, when somebody does, they have to go through those miseries, dukkha. And choice always is there with us to stop doing the kukarma, dushkarma, and start doing the satkarma, sukarma. देख लो. They are the topics that are elaborately discussed in this sarga. Shall we see? Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओं नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओं यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः सच्छास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने. ओम ब्रह्मानंदम परम सुखद परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषत् योगवासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थम सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थम धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापना उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवा तपस्या प्रार्थना दीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्रीराम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः. ॐ यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ते स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरभिकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने मरण विचारो नाम चतुःपञ्चाशत्तम सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच श्रीदेवी उवाच। Now Leela's prashna. It started with, okay, that Leela has gone there to that place. But here my husband is dying. Then where will he go, or what will happen, or what is this death? What are all these wars? In that way, she started asking the question. Then she went to ask further about the entire Srishti in general, about how all these things, with so much variety that are there that way, and the happenings in them. है ना? Why the Ushnata in the Agni? Why the Shitalata in the Hima? You know, the wind blowing, the space giving place for all of us to stay, the water flowing, the Katinata of the earth, the lamp or the flame moving up. How come all these are happening? So, Katham Agnyadishu Ushnatvam. How? पृथिव्यादौ स्थिरता कथम पृथ्वी आदि में कहाँ से स्थिरता हिमादिषु कथम शैत्यम how come that coldness in that himadi has come we never question it because we have no time we are busy in adding that hima or ice block in our cool drink and drink it हम भोग में बिजी है ऐसे प्रश्न हम नहीं उठाते कि how that snow or that ice has that coldness and next to that is that fire it is so hot it is. These are all questions. So to ka satta kala kadishu. Kala the space, ka see kala the time, ka the space. Where from they have come? Where from they are existing? Kaha se aaye sab? Then bhava abhava. Bhava abhava means something is there, but after some time it is disappearing. Graha utsarga. That we are able to hold something or something is able to hold us and it is leaving us also. Like the fever. Graha, पकड़ लिया हमको. Utsarga, it leaves us also some medication. Friends, they hold us. Once their work is done, they leave us and go. तो इस तरह से भाव seen, abhava disappeared. Graha holding, utsarga living. Sthula, the tangibility, solid things. Sukshma, in our mind, what our thoughts are there. There are ये सारे चीजें कथम कहाँ से आ रहे हैं सारे? So to katham atyantam uchrayam trunagulma naradikam. How comes there is so much difference in the heights and weights and functionalities of the truna, gulma and nara? ये इतने सारे डिस्पैरिटी कहाँ से है? सो वस्तुना आयाति अनिष्टे अपि स्थिते सोच्राय कारिणे. So therefore, uh, all the ishta anishta, uh, why this is so funnily things are happening? Sometimes what we want happens, sometimes doesn't. Because it happened, we have faith in it. Then we keep doing it. When we do it, it doesn't happen some other time. Again, we are frustrated. Then we give up. But we are not happy or satisfied. Therefore, again another thought comes. Again, we start doing. Ki, how it is so? So, the idea is what? Ki, all these are the part of the Jagat. है ना? And your question ki something should be like this only. It should not keep on changing. Like I am born a child. A child ही रहूं मैं, बड़ू ना, young ही रहूं मैं, बूढ़ा नहीं हूं. No, in this way if you say, and also the things like diseases, old age should not come. ऐसा आप जब सोचते हो ना, this will be possible when this jagat is satya. Absolutely. It is not satya absolutely, nor it is totally asatya. Totally asatya है तो न रहेगा बांस न बजेगी बांसुरी. It is mixture of both of them. This is why this world is always be the what you call uncertain only. So in and then what is our role? Two things we have in our hands. One the jnanam, second is kriya. By getting the right jnanam, when we do right kriyas every time, then all the disparities in the world won't affect us to give us misery. That is the answer. And then another spiritual answer, ki all these how it has started, you know, Mother Saraswati wants to tell her the answer to this question by explaining as to how the creation started or began. In advance only we tell you the summary. Summary is this Parabrahma Paramatma only, with his Sankalpa only, he did all this. So it is his Sankalpa. And it is continuing. And it is in the good of everyone only. What is our role? Our role, knowing that it is Sarvagna Sarvashaktiman Ishvaras Niyati, just accept. By accepting, half of the problem goes away. By knowing and doing whatever we can know and do, the again 30% of problem goes away. Then whatever comes, when you accept it, the remaining 20% problem goes away. You know, surrender to the Lord. It is His Leela. Know it, accept it. Then do what is in your hands. Then the result, whatever comes, just enjoy. This is how very subtle when our intellect is. These subtle truths are understood, then only our stay in this world, in spite of all difficulties, will be smooth. If the understanding is not clear, Pakka, with all the smooth, wonderful situations around, we create misery to ourselves. ज्ञान से दुख में भी सुख, अज्ञान से सुख में भी दुख. Choice is yours. Okay. Then the mother started telling what? Sri Devi Uvacha. Ki Mahapralaya Sampattau. When the Mahapralaya happens. What is Mahapralaya? All Sthula goes into Sukshma. All Sthula Sukshma go into Karana. And that Karana merges in its source called Parabrahma. That is why Mahapralaya Sampattau, when the Mahapralaya happens, Sarva Artha Astamaye Sati. Sarva Artha Astamaye Sati. Sarva Artha, all names forms, gross, subtle, causal. Astamaye Sati, when they are all dissolved, set. That is sunrise, Udaya, Surya Astamaya. जब इन सबका अस्तमय होता है, what remains, Ananta Akasham Ashantam, the infinite Akasha, which is at the highest level of peace. Ashantam. And what is that infinite Akasha? Which is full of Shanti, without any trace of Ashanti, called in the Upanishadic language Sat Brahma Eva, your Brahman. That conscious existence Brahman Eva Avatishtate. तो महाप्रलय संपत्ति में सारे अर्थ जब उसमें लय हो जाते हैं, केवल चिदाकाश सत्स्वरूप ब्रह्म वो इज शांत इन हिम देयर नो माया माया प्रकोप नथिंग इज देयर ही इज देयर इन फैक्ट because when they are a time pass brand of listening to shastra, that also very superficial, therefore we don't go into even a 1% of subtlety also. Otherwise, the high level of yogis, sadhakas, with this one sloka only they go into meditation. That in their own heart, they just dissolve everything of Rupanam outer inner. Then they reach to that Siddhakasha state. Meditation. Sit, close your eyes, don't enter into sleep. Imagine the absence of everything, every Rupanam, which are imagined by us only, valued by us only. Or with all possible sadhanas, drop your value given to all the Rupa Nama. When the Nama Rupa are not there, then the Chitta Vrittis get subsided. Chitta Vrittis go away. Without Vrittis, the Chitta cannot be. When the Chitta is not there, what is there then? Chidakash. It's a meditation, if we understand. Okay, so anyway, that Sat Brahma Eva Avatishtate when the Mahapralaya is there. Point one. Point two, Tat Chidrupataya. It is Chidrupa, pure consciousness. Therefore, Tejah Kanohamiti Chetati. I am the pure one Tejah Kana. It just feels to be itself. Why you don't ask me? Ask that Chera Paramatma only. An example is given. Tejah Kanaha Ahamiti Chetati. I am the Tejo Kanaha. So the consciousness became the knowingness, that way you can say. To make it clear, an example is given. Swapne, in Swapna, some with the pure consciousness only all pervading. That all pervading consciousness is there in Swapna also. Swapne, that consciousness only, yatha, just like ahitvam akasha gamanadicha. That some with consciousness only appears as if a snake. Why it appears is because of vasanas and maya. But what appears is Paramatma Tattva only, Samvit only. Ahitvam and also Akasha Gamanadi. That I become a bird or maybe human and then I fly in the sky. So sky is me, the bird is me, the flying also in me only. That Samvit only is doing it. Mind projects. It is Maya. In that impressions are there. Impressions are like the mold. Mold doesn't come out as a product. In that mold, the raw material is put, that raw material comes out as a product or that shaped article. So to the Maya mind are the vrittis, they are molds. Through them, Paramatma only appearing as this Jagat. Swapna ka pehla example diya. Samvit only. Without itself changing, is it not appearing and playing? Not new thing, what we studied in all Upanishads about the Swapna Drishtanta to explain about the Jagat arising from the Chaitanya Atma. उसी को योग वासिष्ठ में वासिष्ठ जी अपने भाषा में कह रहे So Swapne Samvid Yata Ahitvam Akasha Gamanad. Variety of things and beings and movements in the space. Adi means you add all that. पानी में जा रहा है, आकाश में जा रहा है, जमीन पे जा रहा है. सारे things, beings and their motions, their activities. आकाश गमनादि एक कहा तो बाकी सब आप ऐड करो. In स्वप्न you love someone, you hate someone, you fight with someone. कोई भी हो, स्वप्ने संवित यथा अहित्वम आकाश गमनादि च. In that way, this pure consciousness considers himself to be Teja Kana. That Teja Kana only does its own Sankalpa. How? Teja Kano sau sthulatvam atmana atmani vindati. By its own self, within itself only, that Teja Kana imagines that Sthulata. Vindati means just imagines projects. Without itself basically changing. It remains intact, उसको बोलो मत कभी भी. स्थूलत्वम आत्मनि विन्दते. ये अभी बता रहे हैं आपको. असत्यमेव सत्याभम ब्रह्मांडम तदिदम स्मृतम. So when he had imagined that स्थूलता itself is this entire ब्रह्मांड. पहले बता रहे हैं आपको. This ब्रह्मांड which is स्थूला appearing there because of the chintanam vedanam of that Paramatma. Is it there or not? Two things. Asatyameva. One. Two. Satyabham. It is really not there, but appearing as real. That is how is Sankalpa. Ishwaras. So Tejaha Kanaha Asau Sthulatvam Atmana Atmani Vindati. The grossness he projects in himself. Asatyameva Satyabham. Though it is not real, but gives the coating of real. Who is giving reality to never existing rope, snake? Is it not the reality of the rope there? याद रखो, सर्प को सत्ता रज्जु के सत्ता से मिल रहा है. Because if rajju is not there, if nothing is there, projection cannot happen. If the adhisthana is not there, adhyaropa cannot. If the substratum is not there, something cannot be superimposed. याद रखो इस जिंदगी में. If the rope is not there, snake cannot be superimposed. If the shuktika is not there, rajata cannot be superimposed. If the sand were not there, the mirage water cannot be superimposed. So to all these mirage water or snake, the satta is the belonging to that sand or this rope. Here also, the ब्रह्मांड को जो सत्यता सद ब्रह्म के कारण मिल रहा है. Therefore, appearing satya, but minus sat vastu brahma, brahmanda is asatyameva. Okay? Tejah kanaha asau sthulatvam atmana atmani vindati asatyameva satyabham brahmandam tad idam smrutam. Asatyameva, it is absolutely unreal. But satya abham, abham is appearing. Like a satya, it is appearing since then. Tatra antar brahma tadveti. Then entering into that kalpita sthula brahmanda, tadveti. Then he identifying with it. He alone. Brahmayam ahamiti atha. He says, this is brahmanda. No, this is me. Therefore, he, the one identifying with it, he considers himself to be the Brahmadeva or Hiranyagarbha. Tatra antar Brahma, this same Brahman entering into it, tadveti. Brahma ayam aham iti atha. I am now the Brahma. Like I enter into the house and suddenly I say I am the owner of this house. By karke. Are Vichitrana? How we entering into any conditionings and ourselves. Like ऑफिस में जाकर बैठते ही मैं ऑफिसर हूँ, कुर्सी में बैठते ही जज साहब वो बैठते ही सम उनको पता नहीं कहाँ से आ जाता है वो फीलिंग, नो आई एम द जज. Once the thought I am judge comes, now he is waiting to listen to the deaf lawyer and pros lawyer, then he will give his verdict as a judge. Here also, asatyameva tatra antar brahma tadveti brahmayam ahamiti atha. After that, the Mazedar baat is this, कि मनोराज्यम स कुरुते. So Atma evam tad idam jagatu. Then he did his Manoraj. In that Brahman Rajya only, the Stula Sukshma Karana, all 84 lakhs of Shariras, into them different Lakshanas, into them himself entering, taking the role of that Jiva and playing the play. To understand all this, the word to be understood is Manorajya. What is Manorajya technically? Like in my own mind, I imagine a picnic place or any forest or any of the scenery like dream only. Dream and Manoraj mein farak. Dream is not in our control. Manorajya semi control in us. Just we are traveling in bus, आराम से बैठे हैं, चल रही है बस, अब सो के उठ भी गए, नींद नहीं आ रही है. Then you do that Manoraj. It can be of the place where you are going, or of the past experiences, or any future imaginations. And I'm imagining nice, young boy, Mano, a nice girl came as a wife, married, then wonderful children born, then he got a good job, then there, lot of salary, he made a good house. Knowing that Manorajya of him, whether it is a house or office or salary or wife or children, himself, all of them are his own Manokalpita or not. So too, that Paramatma, using his Sankalpa Shakti, alone is playing the play of all this. That's the meaning of Manorajyam Sakurute. Swatma evam tadidam jagato. So that's how he is doing that Manorajyam. This whole Jagat is that only. Okay? Hmm. So he is doing both the things. Ki he has projected the world, he entered and identified with it. Then all the outer worldly projects as per required. Then, as per the vasanas samskara of the jivas, he creates what is required for them. Now, what is to be understood is that Paramatma or Brahmas Manorajya is this entire Brahmanda. Swatma eva tad idam jagat. ये सारा जगत जो है ब्रह्म देव का मनोराज्य है. परब्रह्म, then that Kanti Kana or Chaitanya Kana, then Sthula Brahmanda, identifying with it. In that Brahmanda is Brahmadeva, again through his Sankalpa, the entire Jiva Srushti, Deha Srushti, and he is playing it. And it is good example if somebody who has worked hard in his life and really achieved something. Then you happen to meet him, Bata Bata mein, and you ask him about all this. Then with modesty or with ego or whatever the way his personality comes, he starts saying, my mother and father are very poor. It is I who have worked hard under the street light. Then got through those initial studies, higher studies. सुबह रात ये वो काम करके I used to earn money to pay the fee, buy the books, because my parents could not afford. In this way, I studied this. Then slowly I started this or that business. It was so tough, I tell you. In the beginning, 5 years, I worked under him. Then I learned the skills. Then I collected some money, saved, and इधर उधर दोस्तों से थोड़ा मैंने लोन ली. ये मेरा छोटा वाला दुकान I started. Then I worked hard day in and day out. I expanded it. I made it bigger. Then in language, now I'm cutting short. In this way, this huge empire I created. I am the emperor. It doesn't say the whole kingdom I have created. I am the king, monarch. That's how people, the business empires, create their empire, which was nothing earlier. Through his sankalpa, एक के बाद एक के बाद एक करते गया कि नहीं? So if a Manusya, you and I have our chitta with its sankalpa shakti in this way, and it can do that. Sarva Paramatma जो अनंत शक्ति वाला है, उनका संकल्प से ये सारा नहीं बनता क्या? ये पूरा एम्पायर, दैट इज हिज एम्पायर. एवरीवन, एवरी फील्ड, बिजनेस फील्ड में एम्पायर किया, कोई ने अपने सिनेमा फील्ड में अपना बनाया. Just started as a childhood artist or maybe second character, etc. Slowly he grew and he became gigantic tree. He is supporting 10 actors, 10 directors, 10 musicians. अरे बड़ा एम्पायर. कितने chain of hotels are there, chain of boarding lodgings are there. How many things that are there, business empires in this world? हजारों. Take that an example to get an idea, to understand and accept that the Bhagwan's empire this is. Okay, this much you understand. Basically, whatever you see is Bhagwan did his empire, he has projected all this for his entertainment. What is our role? We are also he only. He gave us freedom. We misused the freedom. We created our own individuality as if separate from him. Then we started accumulating our own vasanas, samskaras, forcing that Lord as if to again mold his creation as per our samskaras. जनरली वो अपनी इच्छा से सबके लिए बनाया, पर्टिकुलरली उसके बाद, है ना. जो लोग जीव स्वतंत्रता देने के कारण they have their own demand, the Lord had to modify as if. Like your house going on beautifully, so your son got married, the daughter-in-law came. When she came, then to adjust to her, some things are changed for her choice. ऐसे कोई भी एग्जाम्पल लो. तो हियर दिस इज हाउ मनोराज्यम सकुरुते स्वात्मा एवं तदिदम जगत. So whole jagat is Paramatma's manorajya. When you deeply understand and accept it, why this is like this, why not it is like this, why only me am troubled, these questions and their intensity reduce hota hai ki nahi. And these questions are so miserable because they never have answers. Reduction of the intensity in them or dropping them is a solution. This understanding helps us, isn't it? One sentence I am repeating again. Manorajyam saha kurute swatma evam tat idam jagat. It is Paramatma's manorajyam that this jagat is. First thing is this. Second is most beautiful. What is it? Tasmin prathamataha sarge. In that world of his creation, prathamataha sarge. In the first time the creation, whenever it happened, ya yatha yatra samvidaha kachitaha. In whatever way, his consciousness expressed through his own chitta in the manifestation of this subtle and gross, in the appearance of this subtle and gross. So Paramatma is chitta kachanam. Kachanam means thinking, contemplating, imagining, projecting. As the chitta does the kachanam, his Shakti, through that he alone, the Chaitanya, in whatever the way he expressed in the beginning. Pratamata sarge ya yatha yatra samvidah kachitaha taha, and those all expressions tatha tatra sthita adya api nischalaha. Even now the things are standing as they are right from beginning of creation. They are not changeable because if it changes, the whole rhythm changes again. सब गड़बड़ हो जाएगा फिर. कल देखा ना हमने एग्जाम्पल. Suddenly the fire starts going down, not up. Imagine अब खाना कैसे बनाओगे पतीले पे. Because the fire is coming up, that you are able to make a gas stove, then put on that. The facility should be like that. If the fire is below and you put the patila below, then वो गिर जाएगा ना, because गुरुत्वाकर्षण नीचे है. And that niyati is always there. It cannot change. Same way the water has to come down from the up. पानी ऊपर से नीचे आना चाहिए. अब नीचे से ऊपर जा रहा है तो you cannot go up to take the water, no? Water has to come down for you to receive. In this way, All the rules of this world are like that. Set that time. Means the Manusya, Pashu, Pakshi, Vanaspati Jati, their Janma, their Jivana, their Marana, all of them are set by Paramatma like this. And the same thing is going on. Only one extra thing added is Jivas, when they are given freedom, then they wanted to exercise it, then they started having their own separate kitchen. Paramatma therefore has to adjust to that also. And that Jiva, as long as he maintains his separate kitchen, on the name of happiness, he suffers only, दुखी. हो होकर एक दिन उसको पता चलता है, फिर अपना किचन निकाल के वो टोटल किचन में मिला लेता है. At that time, I, an individual ego, my upadhis, through them I want to enjoy these nonsenses. As long as he maintains, one side he troubles the total, second side he unnecessarily taxes the Lord with extra work, he also suffers. When he realizes one day, I and mine, Mayir Mora Toratai, this is the whole Maya, and drops first the mine and then the I. Both of that. Mine he gives to the Lord, I he merges in the totality. Then you will see all problems are gone. It's a beautiful understanding. And the practice is tough but so wonderful when it is achieved. That achievement only 2000 times we said that inside Soham Aham Brahma Asmi, outside Dasoham. Bas. I have nothing of mine in the outer world. Bas I am serving. Subhe se raat tak. I have nothing of mine or to mine like paid. It has no ego, na? Sunlight comes, waters come. It has the capacity to bring out the flowers, fruits. It just brings it out. Whoever takes, they take. The tree never has any fighting with anybody and all. And the time of dying comes, it just leaves it. मर जाता है पेड़. मनुष्य भी वैसा ही होना चाहिए. But the difference between mनुष्य and पेड़ is the पेड़ cannot have that evolution of consciousness to realize that it is Brahman. The human being has got that. Therefore, the human being outside, like the paid and all such things, only serving the world without any ego selfishness. No Maya Mora Torate Maya. Inside, he is evolving in his identity and evolved to the highest level of Aham Shuddha Brahmasmi. Esha Brahmi Sthiti. Enam Prapya Navayohyati. Asyam Sitva Antakale bhi Brahma Nirvanam Ruchyate. What a beautiful sloka, na? यहाँ तक समझ आया ना? कचिताः तस्मिन् प्रथमतः सर्गे या यथा यत्र संविदः कचिताः ताः तथा तत्र स्थिता अद्य अपि निश्चलाः. अभी निश्चल रूप से सारे रूल्स रेगुलेशंस वैसे. If some changes are happening, that's a part of the rule regulation again. Like nowadays. Earlier na, exactly you type the word, then only the result used to come. अभी इर्द गिर्द आप कुछ भी बोलो, वो फिर वो पूरा डेटा दे रहा है आजकल. The technology has developed, no? Same way in the Paramatma Sankalpa only, as per the requirements in time, the changes have to come. That also niyati. कुछ कुछ इटर्नल चीजें यथावत होते हैं, कुछ चीजें like science technology is growing. In that pure consciousness, when the humanity becomes highly intellectual, to him all these have to be revealed. That is their niyati as it is. इसको नियति कहते हैं. Otherwise, without Ishvara Krupa, nobody can do anything. As if Ishvara doesn't know. If he doesn't know he is science and technology, then you cannot call him as Sarvagnya. Isn't it? And all the scientists, technologists, whoever are discovering all of them, with whatever their intellection, is that intellect separate from the Ishvara's intellect? ये आपने खुद का लिया है क्या इधर से उधर से? है ना? जैसे अभी हम प्रवचन कर रहे हैं, दिमाग वो तो सारे ऋषि परंपरा का है, and all of that belongs to the Ishvara only finally, the Paramatma only. See, when you understand these, the narrowness goes away in the understanding. Understanding gets expanded. Okay. Then two things. As the Ishvara from that side, as the Jivas from this side. Yad yatha spuritam chittam. Then the chitta there, Paramatma ka Maya, हमारे इंडिविजुअल लेवल में हमारा चित्त, यद यथा स्फुरितम चित्तम. जैसे जैसे स्फुरणा करते जा रहा है मनुष्य, तत्तथा ही आत्मचित भवेत, द प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस ओनली, without changing itself, appearing as whatever the way we are doing sankalpa in our chitta. That is why we say Paramatma with Maya is Jagat. Paramatma with each individual jiva's chitta sankalpas again is his own Jagat. है ना? Like Paramatma with his Shakti, he made a tree. Then human being with his chitta, with the tree he does 100 things. So many things he can do. है ना? He can cut the tree, he can get dried that wood, from that he can make doors and windows. All of this Jiva Sankalpa. Paramatma allows that, isn't it? And finally to the same tree will hang himself. Tree was not meant for that, but the Jiva is doing his Sankalpa with the freedom given to him. Because the freedom given to him by the law is by Ishvara, and with his Sankalpa, whatever has to come is from the total Maya. Therefore, though you and I are doing our Sankalpa, it is never independent totally from the Ishvara. Like your driver is independent to drive the car, but not totally independent. You know, no, he's independent because he's the driver, he knows left, right, what to take. But he's not totally independent because you have appointed him, you gave him the car, you have permitted him, you are paying the salary. है कि नहीं? थोड़ा ये फर्क समझ रहे. Therefore, we are all to some extent independent. If that is wrongly used, we suffer. If we rightly use, we evolve. At the same time, we are not totally independent. ये है सूक्ष्म राशि. इसलिए ये बंदा जो समझता है वो व्हाट इज द हाईएस्ट समझदारी. आई हैव ऑल फ्रीडम इंडिपेंडेंस गिवन ओनली टू फॉलो व्हाट लॉर्ड सेज फॉर माय एवोल्यूशन, नॉट टू अपोज हिम. जिस दिन ये बात समझ में आता है, देन ही बिकम्स भक्त. इन भक्ति व्हेन ही सरेंडर्स एवरीथिंग, है ना. गुरु पितुमात बंधु पति देवा सब मोहि कहा जाने दृढ़ सेवा, इज नो मोर संसार. मस्त रहता हो जीवन. सो यद यथा स्फुरितम चित्तम तत्तथा ही आत्मचित भवेत. है ना. द प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस appears like that as per our chitta. So whatever I see the objects, they're all consciousness manifested like that because of my sankalpa, maya shakti, my chitta. Yet the consciousness and chit in them, sat in them, is intact as it is. Like water is intact, appearing as wave. Gold is intact, appearing as ornament. Mud is intact, appearing as pot. So Brahman is intact, appearing as Jagat by the Ishvara Sankalpa and Jiva Sankalpa. Okay, Swayameva Aniyamaha Swayameva Niyamataha Tattat Syat Na Iha Kinchana. Therefore, in this world, nothing can be said to be without Niyama and totally Apne Aap se. Okay, with all our whatever the vasanas in our mind, whatever the sankalpa we do, according to that, the Shuddha Atma Chaitanya only takes the position of all this. So this is how whole thing is appearing. Whatever the way the chitta has the sankalpa, in that way, chitta and sankalpas are like the mold, M-O-U-L-D. Or M-O-L-D or M-O-L-D. Then the Paramatma is that material. Like Ganesh ji ka Chaturthi aata hai. One mold of Ganesh ji is put. In that the whole mitti go on putting, taking Ganesh ji ke murtiyan bante jate. If there are 10 मूर्ति गणपति हनुमान जी ना मट्टी लगाओ तो 10 रूप निकलते हैं. तो दैट मिट्टी देयर इज शुद्ध परमात्मा चैतन्य. द मोल्ड्स आर आवर चित्त संकल्पास. So Paramatma Chaitanya only appearing like that. Like in the 10 molds, the mitti or gold you have used appearing to be 10 murtis, but without losing their whatever the original material. Mitti hai to mitti, gold hai to gold. Okay, this is how one of the thing is, this is the nature of the Atma Chaitanya, that in whatever the upadhi of Chitta Sankalpa, it appears like that. Therefore, in this world, nothing is erratically happening, independently existing. They are happening with the Ishvara and our Sankalpas. and they are not independent of the Paramatma Tattva. That is how Paramatma alone is everything. So, in this way, continuation. कहते हैं कि in this Brahman who is now with Maya is called Ishvara or Hiranyagarbha, right from the inexplicable time onwards, this Vishwa in this way going on, going on. This is another high Vedantic thought. For us, for those who have understood, ha ha, it is easy for them. What is it? When did the creation start? The answer for it is no. It is never started yet. It is निरंतर प्रवाह. पहला क्रिएशन कब हुआ? उसका आंसर हुआ ही नहीं या उस पहले का आप आंसर नहीं दे सकते. It is going on like that. The one beautiful thing, the possibility, which we have to understand is what? Let the world go on in its own way. You, by yourself withdrawing from the world and Upadi, you can realize Brahman, no? अब उसके ऊपर उस फोकस करो. ये जो दुनिया को क्यों पूछ रहे हो, ऐसा क्यों है, वैसा क्यों है? Why are you worried about it? No, 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 I want to sort out. When the world started, why is it like that? You will never get an answer. You only get frustrated. And when you go beyond this problem and get that solution, should we focus on that or get stuck up here only? जब ट्रैफिक जाम हुआ तो पतला कर लिया, आपको अकेले मिल गया, अब निकल जाओ ना. अबे ट्रैफिक जाम क्यों हुआ, अब लोग इतने बेवकूफ क्यों? अब सी इफ यू इन्वॉल्व इन दैट यू विल बी स्टक अप देयर. सब मिलकर तुम्हारी पिटाई करेंगे बस. दिस इज द ब्यूटी हियर. ओके, दिस वन इज यत्र यद्यथा स्फुरितं चित्तं तत्तथा हि आत्मचित् भवेत् स्वयमेवा नियमतः तत्तत् स्यात् नेह किंचन. Therefore, in this world, everything is niyama rupena only is going on. Okay, next one. न च नाम न किंचित्वं युज्यते विश्वरूपिणः त्यक्त्वा समस्त संस्थानं हेम तिष्ठति वै कथम्. This is a very, very powerful shloka. We will try to explain. Therefore, interesting point. These are all the subtle truths which lift our, intellectual capacities to higher levels of understanding. कोशिश करना है समझने को. Therefore, two things. Ki why this Vishwa came and all this. Instead of worrying about it, understand and accept that the entire world is always there in Paramatma in unmanifest form. As one thought we always say that the Jagat cannot be without Paramatma. है ना? Jagat cannot be without Paramatma. The opposite side also is a useful knowledge for us to relieve our minds, redeem ourselves from bondage. What is that? In this entire Jagat, there is Paramatma is there. As much we say, the Paramatma also within him, unmanifest form में, he has got all this Jagat. थोड़ा भक्ति तक ले जाओ तो the entire Jagat is Bhagat Swarup only. So, with example, it is explained. As much the ornaments cannot be without gold. This is anyway understood. The other one is equally important is gold cannot be without the all ornaments of the world inside it inherently unmanifest form. ये जब सेकंड वाला हम पकड़ते हैं ना, देन क्वेश्चन उड़ जाता है हमारे मन से. वी डोंट हैव एनी मोर क्वेश्चन नाउ. इन द लॉर्ड द एंटायर वर्ल्ड इज देयर सहज रूप से. तुम कौन हो तो पूछने वाले. क्वेश्चन इज इट वाज अनमैनिफेस्ट, नाउ इट इज मैनिफेस्टिंग नाउ. In the unmanifest stage, he is Ekamevadvayam Brahma. In the time of manifestation, he is appearing to be Dvaita, but his Ekamevadvaya Brahma Sthiti is not compromised or removed or cancelled. No, it remains the same. This is important. See, Nacha Nama Na Kinchitvam Yujjate Vishwarupinaha Tyaktva Samasta Samsthanam Hematishthati Vai Katham. Can the gold be existing without inside it All the ornaments. अगर होता तो gold would have not permitted us to make it into any of the ornament. If the goldsmith is able to make every ornament which is already imagined by us now, और कल को जाकर लोग और भी कुछ ornaments imagine कर सकते हैं. Ornament कहो या any of the utilization, है ना? In whatever the way. They all manifest Nama Rupa have to be there in Paramatma potentially unmanifest. So Paramatma's Maya Shakti makes the Nama Rupa inside the Lord unmanifest into manifestation. Only Nama Rupa manifestation. Nama Rupe Vyakaravani. Yesterday, today in our Chandogya Upanishad, that was the Parayanam in the 6th Adhyaya. In that Shvetaketu Upakhyana, we are chanting it now during the daytime. Nama Rupe Vyakaravani. That Nama Rupa is never independent. Like a Ganeshji's Murti is never independent of the material with which it is made. When the Murti is not independent, ये गणेश जी है और नाम भी independent नहीं है. But in that मिट्टी गणेश जी का रूप नाम और सारे देवताओं का रूप नाम है. That is why this year गणपति मूर्ति बनाया, बिक गए कुछ नहीं बने तो मिट्टी को फिर से पिघला के उसके बाद नवरात्र आते हैं तो दिन दे में एक माता रानी का मूर्ति उठा. दिन शिवरात्रि कम दिन शिवलिंग बना लेते. जन्माष्टमी आते हैं कृष्ण भगवान को मटका बनाते. See that Yoga Vaashishtha Maharamayanas guidance to us. So, nacha namana kinchitvam yujyate vishwarupinah tyaktva samasta samsthanam hema tishtati vai katham. So, even in the Pralaya Kala also, all these things are not absent in the Ishvara Virat Rupa. If it is, then he cannot be the Karana. और सब उन्हीं में होना ही चाहिए. In the same way, example is all the ornaments also have to be there inside the gold. Therefore, gold is not without those forms names inherent inside it. इसमें क्या हो रहा है फिर? The independence of the Rupanama is rejected. So too, it is Paramatma के अंदर ही है. They are never separate from Paramatma. That is done. सब परमात्मा ही जानो, बस भेदभाव मत करो. भेदभाव केवल रूप नाम के लिए, रूप नाम के आधार पर व्यवहार के लिए रखो. यू आर ऑलरेडी लिबरेटेड. बट उसमें तोरतय और मैं मोरा, इसके कारण सारा सत्यानाश होता है. इन द सेम वे नेक्स्ट वन, सर्गादौ स्वयमेवान्तः चिद यथा कचिता आत्मनि. फॉर हर क्वेश्चन नो द आंसर ऑलरेडी गिवन. Examples were not taken, now it is taken. Sarga Adav, the beginning of creation. Swayameva, by itself. Antahachit, the pure consciousness. Yatha Kachita Atmani, has done this sankalpa of the world to be in whatever the form. For example, Hima Agni Aditaya, that the snow should be, or the ice and ice should be cold. And Agni should be like this and it should be hot. In this way, Hima Agnyaditaya Adya Api Sa Tatha Aste. Even today also, from that time till now, it is continuously there only. जब से शुरू हुआ, कब शुरू हुआ नहीं बोलेंगे, कब शुरू हुआ. Whenever शुरू हुआ, whatever the niyati, these are all called niyati. Whatever the thing is settled, it is continuing now. So you don't see a hot ice, you can never see a cold fire. हिम अज्ञादितया अद्यापि सा तथा आस्ते स्वसत्तया. दिस इज द वन. तस्मात् therefore स्वसत्ता संत्यागः सतः कर्तुं न युज्यते. Therefore the Brahman cannot reject any of these things. They are all inherent in it. In the Rupa Nama Rupa, with its own Shakti, he alone is appearing. Therefore, Jagat is neither independent of Paramatma. At the time of appearance of Jagat, it is none other than Paramatma. That's how to see the Jagat, but understand it to be Paramatma. So, in this way, in the 16th, Sargadau, स्वयमेव अंतः चित यथा कचिता आत्मनि इम अग्नि आदितया अद्य अपि सा तथा आस्ते स्वसत्तया तस्मात् स्वसत्ता संत्यागः सतः कर्तुं न युज्यते यदा चिदास्ते तेनेयं नियतिः न विनश्यति. Therefore, as much from beginning of creation, the created Jagat is never independent of the Paramatma Tattva. So too, the Paramatma has got inherently all these things in him. When he is projecting the niyati that it should be like that also never changes. So, same way, ki is that Maya Paramatma Tattva, sorry, is that Paramatma Tattva, when it is appearing as Jagat, its own Satta Sthiti, Brahma Sthiti, Chit Sthiti, is it losing it? No, if it loses, then Satta se hi adharit Jagat to टिक नहीं सकता. Very subtle thought, no? Has the Sat Brahma become something else once the creation is projected? If he becomes something else, therefore he is not Sat. When he is not Sat, what is supporting entire Jagat of Rupanama? Sat only, na? Therefore, Jagat cannot sustain. But we are seeing the Jagat. Therefore, the conclusion of this whole portion is Tasmat Satta Santyagah Satah Kartum Nayujyate Yada Chidaste Teneyam Niyate Navinashyati. Therefore, the pure Brahman with its Maya Shakti, when it is expressing as a Jagat, it is not losing its Satta Sarupa. Therefore, in the same way, the whole world is inside the Paramatma, it expresses so. Third, in the beginning, in whatever the way the thing was going on, it continues all the time. This is called as Niyati. This is called as Niyati. Then what is the our Tasmat? What we have to understand? Therefore, it is like this only. We have to basically first understand. In that, again, आगे श्लोक में बताएंगे कि these are our duties, these are our not duties. Duties करो तो you are blessed. That is called as niyati. नहीं करो तो you are punished. That is called as niyati. That's how the connection between why we have to do our duties as told by the Shastras and how we are benefited. And if we go against it, how we suffer, these things have come. Why all this explanation? Because this Raja is dying, that Leela is going, and the other fellow is doing. You are seeing so many jivas, and you are seeing the whole Jagat also. In Jagat, everything you are seeing. The Manushya with his Udara Guna serving, Manushya with his cruelty killing the people. You see the rivers flowing down, trees going up. You are seeing the animals living in that way. अब इतना वेराइटी ऑफ जगत दिख रहा है तो कहीं ना शुरू होना है ना. टू दैट क्वेश्चन दिस इज द आंसर. So who created the world? Lord. In the form of the world, who is there? The Lord. Because of what? His own Maya Shakti Sankalpa and the Jivas. Then did the Lord himself change when the Jagat is created? No. No, in the beginning of creation, whatever the things that are set, they continue like that. That is called the Niyati. है ना. बीज बोओगे, पानी डालोगे, एटमॉस्फेयर ठीक है तो वो पौधा आएगा, फूल फल देगा. अब बीज नहीं बोओगे, उसको बोतल में रखा तो बोतल में वो फूल फल नहीं आता, वो पेड़ नहीं बनता. वो नियति है. Just like if you don't put it in the earth, the seed remains as seed. And so too, when the seed is put in the earth, it won't remain as seed, it will have to sprout. तो ये भी यहाँ का नियति है, वो भी नियति. So too, when you do punya, you get swarga niyati. When you do papa, you get naraka niyati. When you do sadhana, you get moksha niyati. So ये पाप किया है, उसको दुख है. These are all niyatis going on. Knowing this, half of the relaxation. Remaining half, in what our benefit is there, know it and do it. That's over. हमारे benefit दोनों में ही है. Follow when we are in vyavahara, the vyavaharic rules as given to us by the Lord through Shastras. Second is, realize your oneness with the Lord. हो गया बात. So we have seen up to 17वां श्लोक. यद्यथा कंचित यत्र व्योमरूप्य विपार्थिवं सर्गादौ तस्य चरितुम अद्य यावत् न युज्यते यथा चित् प्रकचिता प्रतिपक्षविदं विना न सा ततः प्रचलति वेदनाभ्यासतः स्वयं जगदादौ अनुत्पन्नं यच्चेदमनुभूयते तत् संविद व्योमकचनम स्वस्त्री स्वप्न स्त्री स्वरथम यथा. After explaining all that, two more slokas. The conclusion is very sublime and very funny. कि भाई ये सब तुम जिस जगत को देख रहे हो, जिस जगत के बारे में प्रश्न पूछ रहे हो, उस प्रश्न और तुम्हारे देखने के दृष्टि से all these answer. There is another answer also. What is it? The final one. Wherein Jagat Adau Anutpannam Yachchaidam Anubhuyate. First of all, basically, the Jagat is never Utpanna only. Only Brahman alone is there everywhere, every time. That is the difference. And this is not difficult for you and I who have studied the Mandukyadi Upanishad. क्या होना? जगत का उत्पत्ति नहीं हुआ, जगत का प्राकट्य हुआ है. World is not creation, it's a manifestation or projection. This we have studied so many times. Pot is not created, pot is projected on the mud. Ornaments are never created, they are only imagined or projected. Therefore, the whole creation is never there. It's only manifestation. Therefore, Srishti hai nahi hai. Matlab Sarjana, creation is not there. Paramatma only is appearing as this, to which we gave a name creation and we are suffering. If that wrong notion giving is given up and accept that the whole world is manifestation of Paramatma, therefore manifested way, the Paramatma का रूप जगत जो है ये निरंतर बदलता है, and that Paramatma Tattva who is manifesting like this jagat, he is never changeable, and that is my Swarupa. If somebody knows it, एक मिनट में मोक्ष मिल जाता. May these subtle knowledges, as Bhagavan Rama Vaashishtha are giving us, Mother Saraswati too, may we are able to grasp that, understand it, digest it, and with this grown intellect, the intellect which has expanded and subtle, will let us change the outlook of our life, our goals and ambitions, and our seeing the world. May we drop all worries, anxieties, tensions, miseries. Let us in Vyavahara play the play with the Upadhis as a part of the total play going on. And within this play going on, within all the Upadhis, there is an unchanging, unmoving substratum. That is one without second. Let us realize that also. Thus, mukti in both ways. I have realized I am to be the birth, death, changeless Brahman. That is one mukti. And the birth, death, changeful, all the world is never real. It's only projection. When you know it, there is moksha the other side. सिनेमा जितना भी चल रहा है मैं उसको देखने वाला हूँ अनचेंजेबल. You are liberated. And in the cinema, whatever hero villain fighting, that also is projection. When you know that, there also moksha. The play is going on. Neither you are bound by the play that's happening outside, nor you are bound by losing your original identity. अपने निज आत्मा स्वरूप को खोने वाला बंधन नहीं है, और जो दिख रहा है उसको सत्य मानकर फंसने वाला राग द्वेष से वो बंधन भी नहीं. Beautiful now. Thank you for you all giving this chance for me that it is lifting our intellect. अब कैसे हम पढ़ते जाएंगे चाहे जितना भी समय हमको मिले, let us sharpen our intellect. And as I told you, what is not understood now, it will be understood after 1 month, 2 months. You can see it now. 2-3 महीने पहले जो कठिन होता था, थोड़ा अभी आराम हो रहा है. And 2-3 महीने is very small time. In that 2-3 महीने 24 घंटे we are not listening it. Only half an hour per day. In that also 29 minutes our mind is distracted. एक ही मिनट ही focused. Imagine 24 घंटे with focused mind, we are studying it for 5 years. If we have those capacities, of course, then whole understanding is ours. ये राम जी को हुआ. पढ़ाते गए वशिष्ठ जी, राम जी एकाग्रता सुनते हुए, he was grasping all his dukkha daurmanasya, his disappointments, everything got dismantled. I am Brahman, Jagat is Maya, now let me play in this role as a Rama. He went on playing roles so beautifully that the onlookers thought ये मनुष्य अवतार में राम आकर वो अपने परमात्मा स्वरूप को भूलकर फंस गए करके. That play of Rama deluded even Mother Parvati. You saw in Tulsi Ramayana, she is asking Shivji, ये रियल ड्रामा है कि जीव बनकर मनुष्य बनकर अपने आप को भूल गए? अदरवाइज व्हाई इज वरिंग एंड क्राइंग फॉर दैट वन लेडी, वन ह्यूमन बीइंग? व्हाट इज दैट? करोड़ों करोड़ों ऐसे आते जाते हैं, इतना मिजरेबल हो रहे हो? He cannot be a god when he's crying like that. That's how she asks. Then Shivji tells the whole Ramakatha. Then she understands. Thank you. Om Purnamada Bol Sri Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. We are trying our best and enjoying. आ जाओ रामायण